In Tokyo 3 years ago, Simone Kruger was among the youngest in the team with a lot of expectation on her shoulders stepping into the throwing circle at the Paralympic Games. In wet weather, the teen world record holder ended 5th, but since has successfully defended her world title both times in a brand new world record. She will go to her second Games in Paris with a different mindset. She joins us now. A very good evening and welcome to Newzroom Afrika.
Thank you.
Good to be chatting to you once again after a successful outing at the World Championships. Back in Japan, but not in Tokyo, and boy, you threw another world record to defend your title you won last year. Tell us about the experience.
It was one of the most difficult, I think, international competitions I've ever had, because a week before we left to Japan, I actually got sick. So the week before, I couldn't actually train. So we actually thought, well, what are we going to do now? Because normally, if I take a week off, I take maybe 2 months to get to where I was before I actually get sick. Okay. So it was a miracle for me to actually start training again in Japan and just going from where I was before I got sick. But it was a really interesting one because of the sickness, and the food definitely was a struggle. And we had a circumstance, well, not really, well, a difficulty. The training circle was so slow that my shoes got so damaged and so worn out that we actually thought that I had to get new ones before the competition now, because they were actually done. But when we actually got into the competition, I think it was stressful because, you know, like maybe you aren't in your best shape because of sickness and stuff like that. But my first throw was a disaster. It was a 27. I actually only knew of the distance after the competition because I didn't want to hear it at all. And then the second one, I just wanted a mark on the board, because with my first throw, I was lying 8th or 9th, and if I was 9th on the board and I didn't get a better distance, I didn't get 3 extra throws. So just seeing the world record on the second throw, that was so exciting, because we didn't actually expect it, because I just wanted a mark on the board. So I think it was a really exciting experience for me, because in difficult circumstances, I had to trust God more than actually follow the process myself, so yeah.
Do you feel that you have changed completely to the athlete that stepped into the circle in Tokyo and the one that will go and step into the circle in Paris in now just 69 days' time?
Definitely. I think we learned a lot of lessons from Tokyo. For example, I took the wrong shoes to Tokyo to compete in the rain, and we've learned from those mistakes. And I think mentally also, to be prepared for rain, that I wasn't in Tokyo. So I think there's a lot of lessons I've learned, but also I think I've matured more in my way that I actually act on the field. So I like the competition, but I also want to still be myself. So I think there's a lot of things that I like the same about me, but also change a lot, like you focus when you're on the circle. And well, in Tokyo, I didn't actually have a coach. So that was a difficult one for me, but now hopefully there's going to be someone next to the field that's actually going to help me in the circle. So I think there's a lot of things that I can say is going to be hopefully good in this time.
You keep on saying we, but we know that athletics is an individual sport, so it's just you, the discus and the throwing circle when you're actually competing. But how much of a team effort is it actually to be able to not only win the world title in a world record, but then manage to, as you've explained, the challenges to go and do it again in another world record despite the illness?
I think, well, athlete-wise, it's an individual sport, but I think training-wise, it's a teamwork. Because if you don't have a coach that understands you, that knows your technique, that knows your body, like on the bad days, you can't do better than what you do and stuff like that. If the coach doesn't understand, well, your difficulties, your challenges, and also your good times, I don't think it would be as a success as a good pairing. So I think what I mean as a team, I mean myself, my coach, definitely my support at home, because without them, I wouldn't be able to do this at all, and definitely to trust in God in the whole process.
And your dad is your coach?
Definitely, yes. He's one of my, I think, biggest supporters and coach and / photographer for the team. So he's been part of my journey since the beginning, since I was born. He was one of the people that has been through all the physical therapy with me, like my mom, like my sister. So he's been since the beginning, and he was one of my first coaches, and he's still he's still my biggest coach, so yes.
Now that we've got the Paralympic Games just a couple of months away, and obviously you'd like to turn a world title into a Paralympic title, how confident are you that you're able to do that in Paris?
How my training is going, we're at a really good place, but I think on the day, because of how our rankings changed over the years, I think because in 2019 when I just started, I got a silver medal with the 33 meters. And now, if you want to be in the top 6, you have to throw 37 meters. But I think at the place I'm now with my training, I'm at a really good place. But on the day, we have to see what happens. I want to have the medal. We're definitely working for it. And I think the title can be in reach, but I think it's only God's plan. He's gonna let it happen what he wants to, and I think I'm just gonna follow his plan.
And can you believe it? She's actually only 19 years old and very mature with, I'm sure, many, many more international competitions ahead. Congratulations on what you've achieved so far, and all the best of luck in the remaining weeks building up to the Paralympic Games in Paris.
Thank you.